a close combat character. You gotta be quite close to make it work. It's still a sword nonetheless. So even if your interaction it's not as heavy as it could be if you land a sword, but it's still a landing blow. So you're gonna be granting damage against your opponent, even though it's not the biggest or the hardest. It's still damage that you're gonna be
Yeah,
able
because I
to
mean, if he hits you
not be great for.
with the sweet spot, I think it is definitely one of the hardest and the strongest words in this game. But yeah, as you said, it doesn't matter if you hit actually at source spot hit, because there are some conversions with those source spot hit, like we just saw right now. Goblin wanted to hit that bear, actually coming out from that source spot in there, but already at 68%, Zaul is just looking quite overwhelmed by Goblin's pressure. You know, this is the type of match that you might expect against a Roy. You know, they're always just throwing hitbox at you. They don't want to let you breathe at any moment.
But I actually like the fact that Saul just used the crack shoot, like to reposition himself, not trying to actually land in any kind of trade or blow against Goblin. Just try to circle around him and being able to get back into this middle of the stage. As you already know, you all know how this game works.
Yeah.
Being able to be at the center of the stage is of utmost importance whenever you are on these close combat matchups.
Yeah, and right now Goblin working with 104% lead. I mean, he has his twist shot, but you know, this the thing with these characters, especially Terry and also you and Mishima, is that you have that comeback mechanic. In this case, you have the go, but the go is not on play yet. So Goblin needs to take out the most of his stock, but he already lost it with 100 and something percent. That nice dash attack was just enough to steal the deal. Then now the go is in play.
Yes, and it's 124 against 32%. Things are not looking quite well on Skell's favor. And on the other stream, Shanimar has already taken the whole win against Mary.
Once again with this match, with Goblin, I'm sorry, is applying some pressure, applying a really heavy pressure in the ledge, but nice conversions coming up from Zaul's part at 150%. Goblin needs to be really careful because you're gonna be getting hit by that Buster Wolf. But just enough to steal the deal. Right now, 150%. Is that gonna be enough to take out Zaul's stock? It is not. Nice recovery coming up from Zaul's part, just taking advantage of that invincibility coming up from Terry's legs. And already at 172% with a one stock advantage. Is it going to be the stock? I think
That's going to be a 4-0. Nah, he's not going to go for the up throw. It's still not quite a percent enough, but it's already at 200, 208. He's ready to get back into the stage, and every single time that the lasting hitbox from the up B tries to get on to work against Goblin, Goblin just prepares himself, takes a step back, and goes for the downfield. But on the other hand, Zaul has already managed to land 53% on his favor against Goblin, but that's exactly the percentage that Goblin can rack up from a single interaction, so you gotta take care of that one. And Goblin STI is quite on point to get outside of those true combos that we all struggle against.
Yeah, he has definitely his conversions on point right now.
Ooh,
Nice range coming up from Goblin's punch. He just wanted that for Zaul to get an air dodge in. Oh my god, and we don't take those! We don't take what? Was even that option coming up from Zaul's, but what? Why? Why did he choose to do that? Was he expecting to Goblin to go that low to punish him? He reacted to
I think
that?
that Goblin was expecting
A low
being
recovery.
able to trade from that. Well, not exactly trade, but win that interaction. That's what I was talking about. It's the fact that you have a sword. It's a hitbox that has no hardbox whatsoever. Then you're gonna be able to win those kind of interactions as long as you keep on that timing right. But sadly, that was not on Goblin's favor.
Yeah.
So overtook him with that lasting hitbox, and the uncheckable was just the cherry on top, you know?
Yeah, definitely. That was such a nice decision making coming out from Zaul's part right now. And let's see which is going to be Goblin's response in order to do quite a comeback, because you know that was hard because he was in the lead almost the whole set, the whole match. I'm sorry, but that it just was amazing. You know, but focusing right now on the match that we have in front of our eyes already, it is Smashville. And percentage are looking quite even right now. They both are just trying to stay neutral as long as possible. They don't want to overextend and get punished for doing so.
Actually, one thing that I want to point out, it's like, it's quite hilarious. Like, and not in a bad way, of course. It's a little bit hilarious that these two set of explosive characters, they are quite known for being able to just overrule and overtake any kind of match. It's a little bit slow pace, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they are taking their time, of course, to measure what's gonna their opponent, what's the next move that the opponent's gonna do. And on the other hand, Goblins are already taking on the lead against Zaul. He barely hanged onto his life when that conversion from the go managed to land on him, of course. And Zaul is struggling a little bit with those trades. That's exactly what I was talking about. The fact that he's been able to get on close against Goblin, getting personal, but whenever they trade, it's going to be on Goblin's favor.
Yeah, and right now, jab Porygon was just enough, sorry, to take out Goblin's first hug. He did a little bit of shit poke in that interaction, but right now, jab blocker, the bread and butter conversion coming up from Roy's part was just enough to seal out the deal in this tag already at 65%. Let's see if Zaul has some kind of response to take out Goblin's second stock as soon as possible, because you don't know he fastball, and that was unfortunate.
That's unfortunate, man. That's
We take 15.
Yeah. That's gonna be game number 2 on Goblin's favor. We take those, of course. This is a competition, so it doesn't matter if your opponent just fell to his death. That was not your opponent's fault. That was you acting up. That was your condition. That was your pressure. That was your win. It was your mere presence.
That was the mental pressure you
that
put in there.
made them fear getting back into the stage.
Exactly. It was like, oh my God, I don't want to land.
No fear, man. No fear.
You gotta have fear 0.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you.
So yeah, as we were saying, we check those. Goblin moves on to the next game. It's gonna be 1-1 situation between these two players, and as far as we can tell, things are quite even. I actually would go as far and say that this is quite even. I feel like Zaul is struggling a little bit with Goblin says the eye. He's being able to just escape from a lot of interaction that could be on Zaul's favor, or at least the damage that he could rack up is just not being able to completely or entirely land on his favor.
And that was the sweet conversion coming up from Goblin's front right now. This should be a stock for Zaul, but it is not. He manages to survive that and was able to recover once again the stage control already at 99%. The go is just 0.8% away from clearing, so he needs to take the most damage that he can right now if he wants to punish real hard with a go conversion.
Yeah, it's 82 against 99. We're getting closer and closer to the goal time, and of course, Goblin has to take care of that one. It's a ledge trap situation. What's Zaul gonna try to offer? But he is gonna be intercepted by. Well, it's not the dancing blade, right?
It's a
double-edged dance. Yeah, double-edged dance that comes from Roy. That single interaction was exactly what Goblin needed to turn the tides on his favor.
And right now, Goblin just managing to get out of that Zaul's pressure. He wanted to edge guard him real hard, but he quite didn't get it. Nice recovery coming on from Zaul's part, just current stage control right now. Playing back to neutral once again, but Goblin actually catching him in the middle of the jump with that up B out of shield. Well, that was not a B out of shield, that just was a random upbeat that he threw to catch up. Zaul's high recovery, high attempt to land back on the platforms as we're seeing right now. Zaul just wants to play his game comfortably. Yeah, Goblin is just applying so much pressure.
Yeah, it's just so much pressure, unbearable pressure. It's almost like choking him at this point. Zaul actually began the game, the first game in his favor, quite favorably. It's redundant, I know, but I'm lacking on the terms to actually explain what happened there. But as the match progresses, as the bracket keeps going and going on and on and on, I feel like he's just missing the key points that could lead him to set things aside on his favor. Like that specific interaction where the jab power down, where that SEI that Goblin had under his belt was able to just escape from that finishing blow.
Yeah, and right now, Goblin working with a solid two-stock, haven't taken any damage as of yet. Zaul on the other side, it's looking with mostly damage stock, 86%, and the reaction coming up on Goblin's part, actually reading Zaul's rolling was just tip of the iceberg of what Goblin can do. But also remember that Zaul has some amazing conversion with the ghost, so if he manages to land maybe a sub down tilt, it was going to get something out of it. But once again, the jab conversion is going to seal out the deal and puts the score 2-1 in Goblin's favor.
Yeah, this is looking a little bit grimy for Saul. I feel like he had a lot to offer on the first game, but as well, I already said that before. As the game keeps going on, the Goblin just keeps adapting. I mean, it's to nobody's surprise having the train that comes from his region, being able to face against one of the best Terrys, one of the best Ryus, one of the best scans. I mean, they're not the same matchup. They have some similarities, of
Yeah,
course.
exactly. But you need to play around them a little bit differently because the tattoos coming out from Kent are different
Yeah,
than
of course.
Ryu's. Of course, that Terry doesn't have a tattoo, so you need to play around him differently.
The game plan may be similar.
Similar, but it has its tweaks.
It has its tweaks, right?
Yeah.
But you have like the right idea of what you have to do in this specific matchups once you play with them. So this is gonna be. Oh,
He was just looking at us.
He was looking at us. He was
Yeah.
looking at us.
That was-
I felt
It
intimidated by
fell
that.
into my soul. I hope he was into my soul right now. It's just on fire right now. Goblin just
Go.
decided to just
No jump. No
violence.
jump.
I actually thought he might have lost his jump too. Unfortunately, just Soul saving his jump in that interaction, trying to punish Goblin real hard right now, but he wasn't able to do so. Oh, I thought that was gonna lead to an F match conversion. What do you think?
That was quite close, but not close enough. So this is gonna be 78-96. That was a great interaction, a great interception that came from the power dunk. But sadly, Saul it just dropped that shield quite early and lands twice in a row into the double-edged dance.
Exactly. Double-edged stance right now being the MVP closing out Soul's first target. Right now the street conversion coming out from Goblin's part. Just non-stop throwing out the uppers leading so much damage. And the source spot, I'm sorry, actually dealing a lot more conversion, and is the side B going to be enough? It is not, but Goblin is just decided to not let Soul back.
At this point, Goblin is just playing the match on paper value. You know, he's just playing by the rules. He's just playing by the paper, by the format. You know, he's not trying to overcommit into anything. He doesn't overextend into anything. If he has the chance to just go for the left grab, the edge guards against Saul, he's just gonna take every single one of them. Saul, fearing that Goblin may get out of his jab power down by SEI, and he's not going for them enough. He's not going for them already. He's just going for the full jab on, and that's not working quite well for him. But that's gonna be the rising tackle, so of course it's gonna be the first stock that he takes against Goblin.
Yeah, I'm working with a fresh little stocks right now, and all on the other side, just working with a 28% deficit, and also the whole other Goblin stock right now. It needs to he needs to be really careful right now because the side speed, actually the double-edged stand has been the MVP from this whole match because 2 out of 3 stocks has been taken with that move, and I think Goblin is looking for a third one.
And this is gonna be 36 against 85. It's gonna be 104. It's go time already, but the clutch time is just missing on the mark. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Unless they will just turn on something and turns up the heat, things may be already done and set on stone.
Maybe, possibly, but Goblin quite didn't get a conversion from that, and he gets
Neutraler?
all read, but doesn't quite punish it already. We saw the KO ray happening on the screen. The power gazer for trying to punish Goblin for an unsafe approach, and the overextension from Soul's part is what actually got him punished in this interaction. Goblin takes out the set with a solid 3-1.
Yeah, that's gonna be 3-1 on the handshake. Saul moves forward into the lower bracket while Goblin keeps moving on, representing Central Florida as far as I can tell.
Yeah, of course. And if I may, just to my community back in El Salvador,
Yeah, go ahead,
give
go
a huge
leave
shout
me a
out
shout out.
and let them know that if they're watching this stream, Luisfer, our boy or top player from El Salvador, is actually playing on the secondary stream. So if you want to check on that, and I know they definitely want to check on that, let's go to that stream. But the rest of you, please stay here with us right now. We are going to see. We don't have a match yet coming up our ways, but I mean, this set was just so so explosive.
Yeah.
We just saw Goblin's pressure against Souls, and the recoveries that Souls were making were actually really on point because the down tilt actually didn't hit him. I think it hit him like twice or something, but uh, otherwise, it was such a clean recovery coming out from Souls' part.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's on paper value. The fact that Goblin was able to just keep like punishing and punishing every single time